Hey, it's Jason with jamzDOTnet, cars, DIY, and adventures, and this is episode 3 in my journey of switching to Bauer battery-powered tools, including landscape tools and shop tools. In this episode, I'm going to unpackage the Bauer 20-volt pole saw, and I'm going to use it and give you my impressions of it. Let's go. Okay, so hopefully you saw episode 1, where I was explaining why I was switching to Bauer tools. It's really all about cost and not so much about durability per se, because I'm not using these in a commercial environment, but I've spent a lot of money on some commercial grade battery tools, and they already died. So I made the decision to go ahead and switch to Bauer from Harbor Freight, because they are a very affordable option. Episode 1, I was talking about the batteries and the discounts I got and the unpackaging. Episode 2 was all about the chainsaw, and this episode is about this pole saw. I will not be using this for extensive tree pruning or cutting. I will be using it to kind of prune up a little peach tree, a really big hedge, and some plants along the property line on my property. So, the chain is this little guy. I think it's a 10-inch blade as well, so it's probably a 10-inch chain. The actual, this is where the blade goes in. This is where you put the oil for the blade, or the chain I should say. I bet you, yeah, this is probably cross-compatible with the 10-inch one. Although this is different than the 10-inch one. The 10-inch one had Bauer, this is Oregon, so they did some type of white label in there. You get a blade guard. It comes with a strap, so I guess you can hook it to you as you walk around. I do like that they give you the chain oil in the kit, so you get that. And then we have the actual pole saw, so that's just going to come out. It's just going to slide in, and that's going to go over and tighten it. So pretty easy peasy. And then that telescopes out, and away you go. So let's look at these instructions real quick to make sure I'm just not jumping to any conclusions. Just to make my life easy, I'm going to do it without it actually on the pole saw yet. So they give you the chain. Now they recommend, and it is probably a best practice, to let this chain soak in oil or something before you install it. I won't be doing that. I'm going to just make sure that I throw some sprocket oil on it before I start using it. So you basically unlock, you're going to spin this guy. That's going to come out. Lift this guy up. Take that, and there's going to be these 2 holes here. And you're going to basically, I guess it's only 1 hole, this bottom one. And you're going to set it there. To make the blade come out more, because over time your chain is going to stretch, you'll take this tool or any Phillips head screwdriver, and you go to the right, it's going to bump this blade out more to tighten up the chain. So that's how you would ultimately do it. And then laying the chain on, you want to make sure that you put it on the proper way so it actually cuts properly. And I'll show you what I mean here. So if you look at the instructions, the rotation symbol, you can see it gives you the rotation that it needs to go. So when you look at the it, you can see right here, and you want your blade or your chain to look like that. So you can pretty much just say, is that it? No, that's not. It goes this way because you want these big grooves to bite into the wood as you go. So it's going to actually set like this on the chain bar that we have here. So you should wear gloves when you do this. It can be sharp, so wear gloves if you feel inclined to. But it's basically going to sit like that. So it comes with this pretty much seated pretty far back. So I'm just going to go to the right and bring it out. So when I sit it in there, what am I doing? Actually, I want to go farther out that way. I got to actually put I was being goofy. I wasn't putting the chain over the thing that actually rotates it. So you don't want to go like that. Line all of this up. And then you got to determine how much or how little you want the blade to go out. So I actually took it too much, so I'm just going to take my screwdriver, put it on there, and then I'm going to turn it towards me just to bring that back. It probably was where it needed to be. I was being goofy and didn't have that chain seated. You can see how it just kind of sat on there. And then that's all you need for now. And then I can put this on. You can always tighten it more once you have this on. You can reach that access screw without taking the bar off. So then you just put this back on. Oh, look, I don't have the cover on. See, I'm paying no attention, guys. It's too early this Saturday morning. And I just got back from the West Coast on a business trip, so I'm tired. So I can make all kinds of good excuses. So then you're going to want to put this on, back on the tool, like so. And then you're going to put this on. So you can see it's holding it. My tension actually isn't too bad, but what I was saying is you can actually go in here and you can bump it out or bring it in. So I can just go in, you can reach this just like any chainsaw, frankly. So I just tighten it, and that's probably where I'm gonna want it to be, more than likely. Now you can take the chainsaw cutting oil and you can put it right in here. I would always recommend using chainsaw, chain oil versus just normal motor oil. One, it's better for the environment, but two, it's a little bit thicker. I have been in many situations though where I just used normal oil because that is all I had, and I was in the middle of a project and ran out, and it will work, but it's going to spray you and not be as thick. So I just put this in. Whoop. So you get a little extra there. I'm probably going to have some pop out. Let's see if any of this will settle in a little bit. Okay. Tighten it up. I'll just take that extra and I'm just going to dump right on the chain. It's not a lot, but there's just a little bit in there. Okay, so nice and tight. So we've added the oil. They give you a total of, it looks like 3.4 ounces. So this is a standard size at the hardware store. Okay, so now I'm going to take this guy. There's a little indentation right here on the end, and that will line up with this little indentation on the saw. And then it just pops in. You take this and you slide it up, and then just tighten it on. So that's all you do. And then it's tight and it's on. So that is the assembly. It doesn't get much easier than that. And then to pop it out, you go to the length you want, you pop that down, and that gives you quite a bit of length. Has a little bit of flex in the pole, but nothing too significant. So I'm gonna bring this back down, and we're gonna keep this on the truck. I guess since I have this, I'll install it. I'm not sure how much I'll actually use it though. And then you take your battery. I'm using the 5 amp hour 20 volt lithium, the bigger one. Keep an eye at Harbor Freight, because a lot of times these batteries and kits will go on sale and save you a ton of money. Take this sticker off. The sticker is just saying use a 3 amp hour or higher battery, which is plenty high enough. And let's just do a little tiny test. Looks pretty good to me. Okay, let's see how this little guy does. Not so bad. So it ate through those without any issue. My blade is still nice and tight. Actually, a little bit of sagging there, so I'm gonna tighten this blade up just a little bit. Just use that screw in the bottom and tighten it up. So far, this thing is working fantastic. Let's extend it out a little bit. And I'm gonna take that branch off because it kind of hits in the driveway when I drive in sometimes. So I have hedge trimmers, but I really want to bump this bush back quite a bit from the house. So I think I'm just going to go in here and do some cutting and see if this is any easier than getting up on the ladder and doing it. So it seems to be doing this just fine. And I just stopped and checked my battery, and I have a ton of battery life left. I still have all 3 bars. Now I'm gonna go up on the other side and do it from that side. Okay, so far, I really like this pole saw. You can't beat the price. And the fact it's compatible with my other batteries that I'm switching to makes it even better. I'm gonna do this tree here, and I'm gonna do that peach tree over there. And let's see how it goes. Okay, let's take a closer look at what I've done here. Now, you always want to try to keep stray branches and stuff not growing towards the base. It can steal nutrients. Obviously, this has been growing a long time, but you can see pretty thick in terms of the width and girth of that. That came off no problem. These higher ones I was able to do. So this is gonna get some good sun under the tree, allow me to cut grass and keep weeds out, and just make the overall tree a bit healthier than it is. Now I'm gonna turn, here's kind of the pile of everything. Now I'm gonna turn my attention to the peach tree. I'm gonna really do a pretty intense, you can see, again, this is one of the bigger ones. I'm gonna turn my attention to the peach tree. I'm gonna be a lot more aggressive pruning this year. Typically, you wanna prune these. I'll use some hand pruners to get up closer, like these low ones. But I wanna do this before it really starts budding. I probably already should have did it. It's gotten warm all of a sudden, but we do get peaches on this tree. But I'm gonna take some of these bigger ones off to try to round the tree. And you typically want the interior of a peach tree to kind of be open to get good airflow. So you can see I'm like inside of the peach tree, so it gets good airflow in it. And that's typically how I've been pruning the peach tree. This is a little bit bigger than it needs to be. I realize it. However, I'm gonna go ahead and see how it does on this. So no issues on the peach tree. I'm basically just trying to round it. I'm taking some of these bigger ones off. For you true gardeners, you may say, oh my God, what are you doing? When I used to have a vineyard and do this, I would remove 80% of everything. This was very aggressive cut here. I'm gonna clean this up and cut it at an angle, but it was just not growing how I wanted it to grow. And if you just let it keep going, even though this was a nice big piece, you're not doing anything healthy for the tree. And I'm probably gonna take this off right here, and then that gives me a really good shape. So overall, do I like this Bauer pole saw? I do. I like it a lot. I hope you found this video helpful. It takes like 5 minutes to set up, have a nice good charged battery, and all the cutting that I've been doing. Let's see how much battery we have. It still says I have 3 lights, if you can see that. So battery is obviously doing great things. This is Jason with jamzDOTnet. Cars, DIY for sure, and adventures. Give me a subscribe on YouTube. It means a lot to me, and have a great day.